to enter country number 9 of our amazing world bike tour. And yes, we will cycle all the way through the infamous Islamic Republic of Iran. In the meantime, we had intended to skip the country due to the tense security situation, but we just couldn't come to terms with it.
Call us reckless, but here we are again at the border of Armenia with Iran. However, this time we are more or less prepared to enter a confusing but also extraordinarily exciting new chapter of our journey. The coming months we will cycle the legendary Silk Road across Persia. To provide some important context, we will share some publicly available information with you early on. Some of this might be upsetting to you, but we've always been of the opinion that it is important to face reality with open eyes.
Despite the serious problems you probably learned about in the news, there are other aspects too.
First and foremost for us, all cyclists we know loved Iran.
So what is it then? Well, there is only one way to find out.
Yesterday we tramped almost from Yerevan here to the border town. That was a rough ride and kind of crazy because we cycled here, we tramped back to Yerevan, got the visa and now tramped here again.
Behind us is already Iran, and when we cross this border, a whole new world is awaiting us.
I'm very excited.
Yeah, me too.
My heart's racing.
Yeah.
So see you on the other side, Iran. Woohoo!
Salam.
We just crossed the border, worked fine so far. Was pretty straightforward. We got a stamp into the visa, e-visa paper, not in the passport. We are now in Norduz and our first proper goal will be Tabriz. And Tabriz will be very interesting because it has one of the biggest closed bazaars with a roof, a gigantic bazaar.
I'm a millionaire in Iran. So how much money is this? 30 euros? But we have 1,800,000 riyals or tomans, I have no idea. One of those. Oh my god, 500,000 riyals, which is actually 50,000 tomans that people actually call 52 months. Let's go!
We are multi-millionaires.
Woo-hoo.
Like what? We have like what? 18 million. 18 million.
We have 18 million.
Riyal.
No, 1,800,000. We have 18 million.
I have no idea.
1,800,000.
We'll see. We'll figure it out.
It was 18 million, by the way. Anyway, we think context is important and naivety can be dangerous. To get a few things out of the way, let's cite the German Ministry of Foreign Affairs.
There is a travel warning for Iran. Refrain from traveling to Iran. In particular, refrain from adventure tourism by bicycle, motorbike, motorhome or camper, as there is a particularly high risk of arbitrary arrest.
Do not travel to Iran, especially if you have been critical of the country and the political system in the past. There's a real danger that German nationals will be arbitrarily arrested, interrogated and sentenced to long prison terms.
There have been a large number of arbitrary arrests of foreign nationals in the recent past. Photographing and filming even supposedly harmless places can lead to arrests and prosecution on charges of espionage.
The list of specific and dire warnings goes on for several pages. Anyone traveling in Iran should be aware of the considerable risks involved, not only for themselves but also the people they meet.
So we largely do without our good camera and drone while traveling in Iran.
We've cycled the first 20 kilometers or so in Iran, and I can tell you in roughly 5 kilometers there's something, whatever it is. I'm looking forward to it. We are actually in this first village after Norduz, the border town. I paid 850,000 Rial, which is 85,000 Toman, which is maybe €1.80. And we got two gigantic sandwiches, one with chicken and one with some sort of sausage.
Yeah,
Look at this.
Chicken, salad, tomato.
just filled our...
Fuel bottle.
So this is almost a liter, I think. And we paid 30,000 rial, which is about 5 cents.
Due to staggering inflation rates, the Iranian rial has devalued drastically over the past decades. While in 1979, $1 equaled 70 rial, the relevant street rate was about 500,000 per dollar when we entered the country.
While this doesn't explain why they sell petrol under the cost of production, with over 15 millions of cash on hand, we are optimistic to reach the first bigger city, Marand, in a couple of days.
This is an amazing place for our first night in Iran. We even have fresh water running behind us, which is amazing. Yes, the ground is a little bit rough because there's this very pointy stuff. But other than that, it's beautiful. Right next to the road actually, but it's very quiet. Nobody can even see us. We have a stunning view, as you can see over there in the back.
By the way, I did not convert to Islam, but like Afghanistan, Iran requires non-Muslim women to wear a headscarf or hijab. This hasn't always been the case though. In 1936, then Emperor Reza Shah had issued a decree banning all veils.
The law was relaxed only 5 years later in 1941 under his successor and son Mohammad Reza Pahlavi. The wearing of a headscarf was no longer an offense, but still considered as an indicator of backwardness and remained a significant hindrance to climbing the social ladder. According to Iran's current supreme leader Ali Khamenei, the policy was aimed at, and I quote, eradicating the tremendous power of faith in Muslim societies that was enabled by what he termed the decency of women, as hijab, in his view, protected Muslim women from the malicious abuse suffered by women in the West and the people from preoccupation with sexual desire.
In spring of 1979, shortly after the overthrow of the monarchy, the leader of the Iranian Revolution, Ayatollah Khomeini, announced that women should observe Islamic dress code. By 1983, the penal code prescribed punishment of 74 lashes for women appearing in public without Islamic hijab. Iran's current penal code stipulates hefty fines and up to 2 months in prison for failure to observe hijab in public.
This has repeatedly caused protests across the country. The last one started in September 2022 following the death of Mahsa Amini, a young Kurdish woman who was arrested and abused by the morality police for not wearing a hijab correctly.
There they go. Just been in our first control by the police. But yeah, they just wanted to check papers. I think mostly they're somehow curious who we are, then they have nothing to do a little bit. So, took less than 3 minutes.
According to Iran Human Rights, an NGO based in Norway, at least 551 people, including 68 minors, have been killed in the government's crackdown on the recent Women Life Freedom protests, with tens of thousands placed under arrest.
In 2023, Iran also hanged at least 834 people, the second highest number in 2 decades. At least 7 of them were executed due to their involvement in the protests.
Oatmeal, the stuff that makes cyclists fly up mountains. Hot. This is me flying up a hill at 9 in the morning.
sweating a little bit. It is early May, but the sun is already intense, which is why Arif is experimenting with new strategies to protect herself. This northwestern region of Iran is called Eastern Azerbaijan, not to be confused with the Republic of Azerbaijan.
The vast and dry landscape already gives us an idea about the barren beauty of the mountains, plains and deserts we will cross following the historic Silk Road in the months to come.
It's our third day in Iran and few quick observations so far. Quite obvious, people are very, very kind and everyone is greeting us. Every other car is honking, flashing the lights, people are waving, which is always a lot of fun. Never gets old. And then, oh, you just saw it. 3 of those super old Nissan pickup trucks passed us. Because of the sanctions, they have a very low variety in vehicles they can use. They have these old Nissans. On the other side of the road, it's a Peugeot French model. I know it as a Peugeot 405 or 406, like this one. They have plenty of those. Then there's this Iranian car, Saba. I think it's Iranian. It's pretty small. They have a lot of them too. I would say, all in all, those make up at least 60% of the vehicles on the roads. Roads, by the way, roads are pretty good. There's not many roads. We don't have a lot of choice, but at least most of the time there's a big shoulder. That's very relaxing. Nice! See, another Peugeot, also he's honking.
We also noticed that the majority of drivers in Iran do not seem to be overly concerned with fuel efficiency.
In other words, they blast through the countryside with the pedal to the metal.
You will not believe what happened to Arif.
Gib mir das Licht. Literally.
Unbelievable. So she's inside now, washing the sunglasses.
After washing her sunglasses with plenty of soap about a dozen times and using all of our hand disinfectant on it, we are good to go again.
In the early afternoon, we will reach Marand, the first somewhat bigger city. We want to buy an Iranian SIM card, exchange money, grab some lunch and cycle out of the town before sunset to find a camp spot.
For decades, Iran was the most heavily sanctioned country in the world, only recently succeeded by Russia. This is why visitors basically have to bring all the money into the country in cash. We hope to find a place where we can exchange our euros for mountains of paper.
Once we arrive in the city center, a local immediately leads us the way to the shop of a network provider.
Yeah, with the bicycle.
You find there.
Yeah, SIM card, yes. We are in the Iran Cell shop and will now spend a lot of money, 1.35 million rial, and that's about €2.50, and for that we get a SIM card and 15 gigabyte of data usage.
Foreign credit cards are useless in Iran. We are told that we can exchange cash in the gold bazaar. So that's what we do before leaving Marand.
Arif and his friends stopped us before he could exit the city and said, "Come on, don't you want to stay with us and have some fun?" And we're like, "Okay." So, this is great. We can even stay the night here.
Party garden.
Fantastic.
Please eat.
Oh wow, stuffed grilled eggplant.
Nice.
Guys,
This will be yummy.
They insist we stay another day so they can show us around. We learned that Arastet is also an avid cyclist and has toured all of Iran, Iraq and Turkey.
In the afternoon we visit Zonezak, a small village in the countryside. It is known for its apples growing on the slopes of the hill, the stepwise architecture of its houses and a wonderful sunset.
Aya.
Selam.
Selam aleyküm.
Hello.
What did he say?
He talk to you. Salam خوبی؟
Yes.
چطوری؟
How are you?
Ah, خوبم. خدا حافظ.
Üst tarafa bak.
Kalı ya.
Yok ha üst tarafa.
Ben de kalı bizim heyet. Bizim heyetin ne yolu? O yanına yolu var. Oradan canın çölün yoksa can.
Tamam yaşa.
Our new friends want to show us the best view from the top of the hill, but we get lost in the alleyways of Zonuzak. Fortunately, the old lady leads us the way.
Can ben penceresi oradan söndüm dedim bunlar gene çıktı da burada. Hadi.
Uca dağ başında iğne kemanla, uca dağ başında iğne kemanla. Hamının yarı var mən təkəm Allah, hamının yarı var mən təkəm Allah.
Değirəm bu qala daşlı qala, cınqıllı daşlı qala. Qorxuram yar gəlməyə, gözlərim yaşlı qala.
Farud has outdone himself. He was busy cooking in the kitchen for the whole evening.
Farud mom?
Look at this. Yes, they're all joking. He's the mom of the crew here because he's cooking very good stuff. So what do we have here? What is this? What do you say?
Rice, pirinç.
Berenç.
Yes.
Okay,
Rice.
rice,
And et, meat,
meat,
havic,
Cabbage.
carrot,
Carrot. Yes.
tomato,
tomato.
Yeah.
And what is this stuff here?
Jam.
Jam.
Ah, your mom made jams. Ah,
Orange.
Orange jam.
Ancir.
incir, fig.
Oh, fig jam.
Enjoy your meal, guys. The meal is fantastic indeed. Restaurants usually represent only a fraction of a national cuisine. Therefore, eating at someone's home is one of Matthias' highlights. During the obligatory after meal tea, Amir Hussein shows me how to play the tambua.
One.
It's very good.
Yeah.
So we are leaving these amazing people here in Marand. Love you. Come visit us in Yerevan one day.
Yes, of
Bye
course.
bye.
Bye.
Koda Hafez.
Amir Hussein has to go to university and accompanies us to the edge of town.
The people in this town were so incredibly kind. We got the SIM card working, now we got the VPN working, so we can use all the social media sites that are blocked in Iran. Also, this bunch of money is, I don't know, 10 euros or something. So what Hussein did yesterday, we handed a bunch of money to the bank and they gave us 3 of those gift cards, and now we can use them kind of like a credit card when we pay for stuff, which makes it much easier for us. So yeah, we're set up to explore Iran now to the fullest.
We are heading to Tabriz, the provincial capital of eastern Azerbaijan, one of the 3 provinces of Iranian Azerbaijan.
Most people in this region speak 2 languages, Azeri Turkic and the official language of Iran, Farsi, the Persian name for Persian. Turkic, as the locals call their language, is closely related to Turkish, Turkmen, Gagauz, Qashqai and Crimean Tatar. It is mutually intelligible with each of these languages to varying degrees.
Geradeaus, Johnny, geradeaus, hier. We are about 50 kilometers from Tabriz. Traffic's getting worse and worse. Maybe an hour and a half more.
Nowadays, over 1.5 million people live in Tabriz, making it the 6th biggest city of Iran. While the quality of the roads in Iran is fairly decent, there is sometimes only one huge and very busy road per general direction. This is not ideal for cycling, but at least there's a hard shoulder most of the time. However, the massive, often decades-old trucks are fairly intimidating nonetheless.
Right here.
Finally, we will visit the Grand Bazaar, but first some typical Iranian breakfast. Yerel mayumota, or smashed potato and egg, a simple, tasty, filling and very affordable street food from Tabriz. They usually also add butter, salt, black pepper and sometimes condiments like onion, pickled cucumber and or herbs.
We are inside the bazaar now. This part has a lot of jewelry stores, and this is where people usually also exchange money. That is because the jewelry store owners handle high value stuff, so they always have a lot of money and gold at hand. This is why people trust them to exchange money on a better rate than, let's say, on the street or in the bank. Mr. Ali. So they're selling all types of dried herbs and teas, I believe. This is maybe a lemon. It's very intense flavor. They use it to cook because they like some sourness in the food. Then there's teas. They also use a lot of mint, which is very tasty. So there's a lot of high quality herbs here.
We shouldn't forget to look up because the ceiling is so nice. It is one of the oldest bazaars in the whole Middle East, as Tabriz has been a place of cultural exchange since antiquity.
Now we're coming into the area. All things carpets. Carpets, carpets, carpets.
I have never seen something like this.
This is a carpet.
How nice.
Persians are famous for their carpet making techniques, and well, if you would not travel with a bicycle, that would be a very good chance to get one for a good price, I imagine.
The historic bazaar complex is one of the most important commercial centers on the entire Silk Road and was already mentioned by the Venetian traveler Marco Polo, who claimed to have passed through it on his journey to the east.
While we wander around the seemingly endless hallways, we are approached by Hossein. He is visiting Tabriz to explore business opportunities for his village.
How big is this bazaar, do you know?
It's near the 5 kilometers or
5 kilometers.
yeah.
And photo?
You see, you can take photo.
So, what do they have here?
How can I say? It's about the grandfather's hats.
So, this is a traditional hat of the Tabriz region.
It's handmade. Yeah. If you touch it, you can feel something.
That's very interesting. I've never seen something like this before. They have carpets that are paintings. Carpets, paintings. Very interesting. Thanks.
Tabriz is the main center for the production of the famous Persian rugs. The distinctive durability of Tabriz's carpets and their unique design made them famous all over the world.
Handwoven with the finest materials, including wool and silk, a single Persian rug can often take years or even decades to make. Therefore, a high-quality Iranian carpet can cost tens of thousands of dollars. So, even if we could transport one, we couldn't dream of buying one, as most of our money went into this journey.
Oh, silly us. Why are we even doing this? We could have had a rug instead.
This is insane. There's so many carpets everywhere. It does not stop. They have, I don't know, millions and millions of carpets. Wow. The bazaar is gigantic. I think we haven't even seen half of it. I'm getting a little hungry, and I've heard that there's an area where they sell cheese. That's always interesting. Let's go there.
We love cheese.
This is the food section. This is always the best part. Look at this. There's tea, dates, olives, everything you can imagine. And I can smell cheese already. This is turmeric, how it looks when you take it out from the ground. And then they grind it down in this machine here.
We always enjoy discovering local markets, even though they are usually crowded, loud, messy, and often smelly. In the midst of the hustle and bustle, with visual impressions, new discoveries, and smells rushing in by the second, we observe the local life and authentic interactions.
So this was the bazaar of Tabriz. Hossein was so friendly and guided us around in this huge labyrinth where you find everything. Incredible. If you ever come to Tabriz, go check out the bazaar. Spend 2 days here, it's crazy. We are hungry now.
So we have to find something to eat. I'm sure we will. As you could see, So far we experienced nothing short of the utmost kindness, helpfulness and hospitality.
As always, we want to give you a balanced glimpse of our time in Iran. However, this is easier said than done, and we invite you to think about what, or rather who, you don't get to see. Although we have to abide by the local rules, as foreigners in Iran we still have most of our freedoms and the great privilege of only passing through.
This is it from Tabriz. Join us again next time when we continue cycling across Iranian Azerbaijan, get in a sandstorm and eventually enter Iranian Kurdistan, where a huge surprise is waiting for us.
Hey, we are Aleph and Matthias, a couple of independent amateur filmmakers on an unsupported journey around our planet.
In late 2021, we sold our belongings and set out to explore, grow and show the world as we see it, in the hope to inspire some people along the way. If you like what we do, it would be great if you could help us out.
Editing this type of unscripted and spontaneous documentaries takes a huge amount of time and effort, which is why roughly 50% of our rapidly shrinking budget goes into this channel. On average, we receive about 30 euros from YouTube ads per month, which helps, but is only a fraction of what we actually spent on creating a single episode. We can't continue this much longer, and well, maybe we shouldn't. Maybe we just suck at this, and that's fair enough. But if you think otherwise and want to give us more time, here's what you can do.
This is crucial for small creators like us. Subscribe if you haven't already. Activate all notifications. Watch each episode to the very end. And of course, like, comment and share them.
This will make our content visible to more people and therefore it might become sustainable at some point.
In the meantime, you can also join our amazing contributors on buymeacoffee.com/aworldbiketour.
Through Buy Me a Coffee you can support our content creation by topping up our budget. We have several additional terabytes of material and we can tell you with confidence, the best is yet to come.
Anyhow, thanks for watching. Until next time.
And may the wind be in your back.